Hey, it's Jay. Welcome back to Lavender Living, a series during Pride Month where I upload a video every day. Today I have a book review on the first book with asexuality that I ever read, which is Awaken by Calista Lynne. And sorry about the glare. I got this secondhand, and it was a library copy. Apparently from the library where I used to live near in Washington. So that was a surprise. It's a very freaking short novel. Like there's barely 150 pages, and the font is freaking massive. And the cut is like a hardback for some reason. So basically, this is about a girl who, I've read this in a while. I read this my first semester of college, and that was a little bit more than a year ago. This is about a girl named Victoria whose brother just got into, I think, a car crash, and he's in the hospital, and she and her mom are dealing with that while she's also trying to practice for a ballet audition downtown. I believe it's in New York. Manhattan, yeah. And so she's trying to prepare herself for that. And she enters when she's sleeping one time, she enters this kind of dreamlike world, where she meets this girl that she's like, holy shit, you're gorgeous. And they start having a relationship, which is weird because she's in a dream. But then Ashlyn, the girl, she appears in reality, and she's like, oh, I don't like this. And then Victoria kind of discovers what asexuality is, and that they're both asexual, and so they have to deal with learning about sexuality. And then there's like some demon in Victoria's dreams that threatens to make humanity basically die out somehow. I gave this book 2 stars. I'm actually thinking about changing it to 1 star. We'll see in the thumbnail. But the only 2 reasons I like this book are, it was the first book that I ever read that had asexuality in it, and it was actually explained fairly well. I don't know where it is. So Victoria and Ashlyn are like having tea or something, and Ashlyn's like, I've never eaten or drank anything real. There are many things I never felt that I need to do, actually. And she was like staring at Victoria pointedly, like, don't you get it? Don't you get you're asexual? And she's like, okay. She's like, Victoria asked for like examples, and Ashlyn's like, cuddling without sex, intimacy without, orgasms. That all sounds really great. I mean, I never looked at someone and thought, wow, that's a person I would do the deed with. Like everyone seems to. I take it in front of blah 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 blah. It's sexuality, but everyone else goes on about how great all that is, the kissing and the humping and all that jazz. How do I know I'm not missing out? Maybe I actually would like it. It's got to be pretty great for so much of everyone's life to revolve around the pursuit of sex. And then Ashlyn says, that's something you're going to have to find out for yourself. You can still do those things and be asexual. It's like a sexual attraction, not celibacy. I'm actually fond of kissing, as long as the other person's tongue doesn't find its way into my mouth. It feels nice. And like, there are a couple other instances where it has like where the actual definition of asexuality is discussed, and that was really well done. And then there's another scene where, a very intimate scene that I loved, where Victoria's like, can I bathe you? And like at first I was like, that's random, but then it's like, that's actually really sweet and really intimate thing. That's adorable. I want that. And so those are like why I like it. But like, it was very fast paced. The characters weren't very fleshed out. Hey kitty. The dream world didn't really make sense. The stakes, like, even though there were stakes, they weren't, like, the importance of them weren't necessarily very well, like, executed. It could have been longer, begin to flesh out everything more. The characters weren't very strong. There were a lot of jumping the shark moments, between, like, the nightmare visions and reality and like the line between those two realities, and it just didn't make sense. The writing was very simplistic, boring at times. The only reason I read all of it was because it was the first book I read where there's an asexual character, and I was like, got me! Representation matters. It was a good book for when I needed it, because I needed it then, because I was still coming to grips with my sexuality, demisexuality, and I had never seen myself even slightly represented like that, and I was really excited about that, but I probably am not going to reread it again. I'm probably going to, I don't know if I'm going to unhaul it or not, because, like, I'm sentimental, and so I'll probably keep it because it was the first book I read where I saw myself, in that way. But it's not a good book. So don't read it for, like, plot and stuff. Read it, for, like, definition of asexuality and see how that's handled, because that is actually done really well. So that's all I've got for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the little bell so you get notified whenever I upload. I upload every Wednesday except during the month of June, during Pride Month, where I upload a video every day as part of my series Lavender Living. And in the description are the links to my social media accounts, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye!